In this video, we'll learn about adding sections to Google Forms. In this example, sections will be used for creating a quiz to define where to direct students after answering a question. I'll start a new form which will contain section breaks. I'll title this form History Quiz and enter a description. Below the title is a space for the first question. I could define this space for students to enter their names, but for this video I don't want questions to start on the title page, so I'll delete this question. For the rest of the quiz, rather than create individual questions with this icon, I'll do everything in sections instead. Sections are similar to questions, but whereas questions are set to proceed one after the other, sections provide more flexibility, as we'll see. I'll click this section icon, which has created 2 sections so far, each of which will be displayed on a separate page once the form is live. Within section 2, which is the page students will see after the title page, I'll click here to add the question, naming it Question 1. I've made this a multiple choice question, and here are the list of possible answers. Note that sections can be used in this way only for questions that have a single choice answer, so question format must be either multiple choice or drop-down. The correct answer here is the second one, and students who get this right can proceed to question 2. But for students who answer incorrectly, I want to direct them to a helper page, which will provide some extra help for the question. When using sections for this purpose, each question is contained in its own section, and each helper page is also contained in its own section. Since there are 2 directions students can take after answering question 1, I need to add 2 more sections. I'll name this section Question 1 Review, and this one Question 2. Before adding questions to these new sections, I want to specify to which section students will be directed after answering question 1. I'll click the 3-dot icon here and choose Go to Section based on answer. For answers 1, 3, or 4, which are incorrect, I want the next section to be Question 1 Review. For the second answer, which is correct, students can proceed to question 2. It can get confusing if you rely just on the section numbers, but if you're careful to name sections in an organized way, it should be clear which sections to refer to. Now I'll fill in my question 1 review. The text of the question will be identical to what appears in the question 1 section. The multiple choice answers will be the same as well, but in order to provide a hint about the answer, I'll include an image. I'll click the Add Image icon, use the Search tab to look for an appropriate image, and select to insert it. Video can be inserted as well with this icon. The default setting is that after this section, Section 3, no matter what students answer, they will continue to the next section, which is Question 2. Next, I'll fill in Question 2, another multiple choice. Here are the possible answers, and number 3 is correct. Let's say question 2 is the last question in a very short quiz. So I'll need just one more section for question 2 review. Here I would repeat everything from question 2 and add an image or video as a helper. I've inserted a map, which I can resize. Back in question 2, I'll select Go to Section and direct incorrect answers to question 2 review. For the correct answer, I'll choose Submit Form. When my form is ready, I'll go up to the gear icon, open the Presentation tab, and enter a message for students to see when they're finished the quiz. Then I'll click Send. As a student, my invitation to work on the form includes the link to fill out the form. There's no question on the title page, so I'll click Next. I'll answer question 1 incorrectly. I'm brought to the question 1 review, where I can refer to the image. I should answer correctly this time, but either way I'll proceed to question 2. I'll answer this one incorrectly as well, and then the form is submitted. As the teacher, I can see the responses come in. I can view a breakdown of how the class answered each question overall, or I can click Individual and scroll through each student's answers. I can also click this icon to create a spreadsheet of all the answers.